Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, and I've started doing these a little bit regular, so if you want to come and get in the mixer, probably Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings, come and join us on a live. We'll kind of go over the news, what's been going on, and we'll have a bit of a chat to everyone. Hope you're all right. Right then, so I got a text last night, just as Paddock FC were playing Ramsbottom, it's a semi-pro team, 5 leagues above us, and I got a text as we were doing a warm-up saying this is what's going to be involved for United tomorrow, a load of youngsters. So I put a tweet out, just pull the tweet up a sec for you, which was, I said, where is it? I've lost my place where I put it. I've lost my text. I said, y'all ain't going to believe the bench for United tomorrow. Wild. Right then. So, Ralph has obviously been talking in his press conference, and he's actually given away a little bit of the team himself. So I got a handful of names yesterday that were going to be involved on the bench. And then most of those names have just been confirmed by United at about 10 o'clock last night with being registered. So Bjorn Handley, Charlie Wellens, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage, Sam Mather and Shola Shotai have been added to United's Champions League B list. Now, 1, 2, 4 of those was what I was told was going to be on the bench. And Ted Mengi was also one of the names that I got told was going to be on the bench tonight. So that's what I was kind of referring to. I didn't know about Wellens and Sam Mather, but Shola, Zidane, Bjorn, and Charlie Savage were the names that were mentioned as being part of the bench tonight. So hopefully that is the case. There was also some talk that Alanga was going to start on Saturday, and I didn't get that info in time, and I didn't put it out. And obviously I'm glad I didn't, because it wasn't correct. But that's supposedly going to be the bench this evening. He's also come out and spoken a little bit about who is going to play. So we can probably start putting together an 11. Not that I think it's overly important. There's certainly nothing to lose by. We are top of the group no matter what, and I did get that wrong in my preview. I was too busy focusing on everything else that we had to do for the preview. Completely forgot that the head-to-head thing counts in this now. So Rangnick in his press conference has said Wan-Bissaka can play. Hopefully even Luke Shaw will be available for the game. Matic will be captain. Juan Mata will get game time. Jesse Lingard. We have quite a few players who will be playing who desperately need game time. So that's good to see that he's looking to try and give a lot of players minutes, because I think that Van der Beek especially, but he wasn't the only one. Ollie had a lot of players that weren't really getting a lot of game time under him, and he didn't really seem to manage the squad. There was so many times, I mean, we actually broke the record for the same consecutive 11, which has stood since, I think, 1993. So once Ollie got a team, he kind of really stuck with that team, and I think you really do need to utilise a squad. I mentioned to someone last night, there was talk about Kevin De Bruyne playing when he's been out for a month. The luxury of just being able to just drop someone like Kevin De Bruyne, but the ability to be able to rest him. Mason Mount's had a little bit of time off lately for Chelsea. You know, having the ability to be able to take players out of the firing line a little bit, especially when they played in the Euros, and get them back into the squad's a real benefit. Randy also mentioned Alanga and Ahmad playing as well. So he says, yeah, both the younger players, we're going to give them game time. The same with Mason Greenwood. He's not played so much in the last couple of weeks, so he'll definitely play. Massive positive. Love that. And I'm going to talk about the Edwin van der Sar leak as well. News, which the Metro are really hamming up. But in terms of what United could be seeing tonight, this could be a massively rotated side. I believe it's going to be Dean Henderson that's in net. Are we bothered about the result, or are we just looking to see United actually just put in a decent performance? I mean, what are you guys saying over there in the old comments like? Do you think it matters how we do? Do you think it's mega important, or is it more a case of just make sure that we get a decent performance from the team? And I'll tell you, I'm sure you can all figure out, but there's a couple of really key reasons to do this entirely shifted team. So, if United played... When do we play? Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. That's our match days this week. Now, if you're, let's say Ronaldo, for example, you would expect, under normal circumstances, Ronaldo plays Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. Sunday he plays, Monday's recovery. Yesterday would have been a little bit on tactics, possibly on some game shape and stuff like that. Today is going to be match day, so there's no training. Tomorrow is recovery. Friday you'll do a little bit of shape and stuff like that, getting ready for the game at the weekend against Norwich. So you've had maybe one session on maybe some of the actual gameplay and shape that Rangnick's going to want to work on, and probably one session for both games. So probably one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Probably just looking especially at what Young Boys are going to offer. And same on Friday. One session in the morning might be a little bit of game prep, might be a little bit of shape work. And a session in the afternoon, whether that's video or out on the pitch, might be just looking specifically about what Norwich City do or how you can get around and actually beat Norwich City. So when you have those sessions, you've not got a lot of learning done. And one of the real benefits of not being in Europe is having that extra training time in the week. Now, if Ronaldo doesn't feature, Bruno doesn't feature, whoever doesn't feature tonight because you've gone with a totally rotated 11, then you're starting 11 for Saturday. They came in on Monday, they did recovery. While the Champions League squad was working this is a busy week for the manager and the coaching staff, but they'll be fine. They've not got to perform. They've just got to be able to coach. So what you could have done is you could have had different start times. He could have had the Saturday squad in. Let's call it Saturday squad and Champions League squad. He could have had the Saturday squad in early doors, have them do a session working something very specifically on gameplay, shape, maybe pressing. Maybe it's the second phase of things that he wants to work on. Maybe it's working second balls. Maybe it's working a little bit more on defensive structure. Maybe it's working on final third structure. Maybe it's breaking down a low block. Whatever it is, as a team function, they might have done that first. Then he might have had the Champions League squad in, where he's working on something very specific for what to do to play against Young Boys tonight, while the first squad's doing a bit of recovery, or maybe they're inside watching some video or whatever. Then they might have lunch, and then they might do the same thing again. Get the Saturday squad out again. Let's go through lesson 2 for the day with them guys, while the Champions League squad comes out and maybe works on, again, something very specific ahead of tonight's game. Shape, getting used to each other, a load of new players together, maybe play a 9-a-side, maybe against the 23s, something like that. And then today, when the Champions League squad goes to the Lowry to go and get ready, the coaches, they don't need to be with the players the entire time. The coaches can stick around at Carrington. They can take Saturday's team through a bit more shape, a bit more planning, progress us further through the curriculum or the syllabus that Ralph Rangnick wants to put in. And then obviously he can make his way to the Lowry, give his team talk, get on the coach, go and coach the lads tonight, bish, bash, bosh. And then tomorrow, when the Champions League squad comes in and begins its recovery, Saturday's squad is already 2 or 3 classes, lessons, training sessions further ahead than they would have been if they'd have played that midweek game. And then instead of doing recovery tomorrow, Ronaldo, etc., can come in and they can work on the next thing that they need to work about. So they can be super prepared. So by the time they get to Friday, they've already gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sessions. And now they can look at the 1 or 2 specific things to be ready for Norwich and be very well prepared and rested. So it's not just about rest. It isn't just about rest. It's about being able to get on the training ground and work on the specific things. This is what's absolutely vital when you have a new manager come in. He wants to implement his style of play. How does he implement his style of play? He implements it by getting on the training ground with them. And one of the nightmare scenarios that you have in English football, especially over the Christmas period, is there is just back-to-back, wall-to-wall games, and it's relentless. It's just game, 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 game. I've seen my video schedule going into Christmas, and it's brutal. And I'm not running around. The travel, the training, the recovery, the tempo of all that sort of stuff over the Christmas period is absolutely brutal. So finding time to try and implement a whole new style of play and philosophy, you've got to try and cheat and bring it in where you can. And we already know he's using video to a great degree to do that. And we already know that this is a great opportunity to do that by playing an entirely rotated 11. So I don't want to see anyone kicking off if we don't win tonight. Let's just go and enjoy a game against a decent opposition. with some fringe players that might have the opportunity to find themselves in a team. Right, so the Metro went with this news about Edwin van der Sar declaring his interest, almost a come and get me plea from Manchester United. So he was supposedly asked, I don't know who asked him, but he was supposedly asked if he's tempted to join Manchester United. His reply was exactly, I could have wrote this for you and told you that's what he said. Supposedly this is what he said. I'm enjoying myself here so much at Ajax. I still have 2 years left here. I want to keep achieving things here with the club, but I'm sure that one day the moment will arrive. What's he said there? Nothing. He said absolutely nothing. Now, I do like the idea of Edwin van der Sar coming in as a CEO. I think from whoever it was, and it feels like a Murta and Fletch appointment in bringing Ranić in, whoever was responsible for doing this, it's probably the most obviously football decision. I'm not going to necessarily call it the best, because you can only call it the best with hindsight. But it feels like it was the most obvious, intelligent, football-led decision, rather than commercially-led decision, that we've seen from Manchester United in as long as I can even think. So I'm buzzing for that. I'm absolutely genuinely buzzing for that. So yeah, get your questions in the comments, and we'll come to those. And give me your thoughts on what you think with this starting 11 as well. Are we happy with it? What do you think it will be? Give us your starting 11 in the comments. And what's your thoughts on who of these is going to get an opportunity? I think Zidane's looked very good. I think Charlie Savage has had a hell of a season as well. Shola obviously became one of the youngest players to ever play for United previously anyway. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see which of these actually go and get some minutes and get involved in the first team. It will be very interesting to see. Julio in the comments says, "Hi Steve, hope you're doing well for the game. Happy to see more squad players being utilised. Give the first 11 a rest. Give them a chance to hopefully see some younger players come on." And Alex says, although the moment could be July 2022. Is that about Van der Sar? Steve missed the beginning. Is he bringing lots of youth tonight? Right, I'll recap for everyone who's just joined us. So, 7 o'clock-ish, I think it was last night. Yeah, it was during the warm-up last night. I got a text, so shout out to the person that gave me a text. It's a coach who said this lot's going to be involved tonight. And hang on, let me pull my text up. Oh, it's making me scan a QR code. I'll get it on my phone. 1 second. So what we had was Zidane, Savage, Shola, Bjorn, and Tedden are going to be on the bench tonight. That was the word that we got around 7-ish last night. I banged a tweet out saying, "You're not going to believe what United's bench is. It's wild." And about 10 o'clock or so last night, the news came out that United had added the following to our Champions League B list. So that's Bjorn Hardley, Charlie Wellen, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage, Sam Mather, and Shola Shortire. So interesting bench by the looks of it. And then this morning we've seen the quotes that have come out from Ralph Rangnick saying Wan-Bissaka can play, hopefully even Luke Shaw will be available, and Nemanja Matic will be captain. Wan-Mata will be getting game time, Jesse Lingard. We've got quite a few players who will be playing, who definitely, desperately need game time. He also got asked about Ahmad and Anthony Elanga, and he said, yeah, both younger players, giving them game time. The same with Mason Greenwood. He's not played that much in the last couple of weeks, so he'll definitely play. So I think we can start to put together what the 11's going to look like there. I'm going to try and do that in a sec, try and figure that one out. Ahmad's an interesting one because obviously he's not been seen at all, has he, for weeks and months. Alanga's an interesting one. I thought he looked really good when he came on. And I also think that, there was some talk that he was going to actually start on Saturday, that he's impressed that much in training. So well done to Tony for getting himself in the mixer there. But it looks like he's going to be a very attacking, exciting team. Just looking at some of the names who are involved in that there, I don't know how Ahmad, Elanga, Greenwood, Mata, and Lingard all fit into the same team unless we're going to play Mata deeper, which is kind of crazy, unless we're going to go with two very adventurous eights and go with a 4-3-3. Really interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Really interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Isn't Ahmad been in Italy because his brother was arrested over his move to Atalanta? If he has, that's news to me. I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a heavily rotated side. The only one I can't figure out what it's going to be is who's playing at centre half. Is it going to be Bayer? Is it going to be Phil Johns? I actually don't know. Right, any more questions or shall I get off? Let me know in the comments. Someone on Twitter just said it's Paul Scholes. And I don't think it is. Righty then. I'm going to jive, but cheers for tuning in. I'll be live after the game with a review, so make sure to come and check that out. I'll probably be live again tomorrow morning, either 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on what time I manage to get up. But cheers for tuning in. As always, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.